This video will cover how to configure the SLA in the Infraon Infinity Suite. The SLA includes profile and metric modules. Before creating a profile, it's essential to create metrics. In metrics, there are default measures like response and resolution. Metrics define how the performance of a service will be measured and reported, encompassing availability, response time, resolution, and customer satisfaction. In certain scenarios, resolution may be pending due to required user input from the customer. During such times, it shouldn't be counted. To define these parameters, metrics are created, which also establish when to start, pause, resume, and stop the SLA. Now, let's create a new metric. To do this, click on Add Metric, located at the top right corner of the page, and select Ticket. Add the name, criticality, and a description of the metric. There are start conditions to be met for the SLA to begin. For instance, if the state is open, the SLA starts when a ticket is created. This kicks off the SLA calculation. Start with the condition set to an open state. Close condition is used when to close the SLA. It will stop counting once the ticket status changes to in progress. Therefore, if the ticket status shifts from open to in progress, the SLA response time stops being calculated. Here in metrics, the start condition will be in the open state. So, whenever a ticket is in the open state, the SLA start metric will begin its calculation. In the close condition, when the state changes to resolved, the metrics will begin to be evaluated. Now add the required conditions for pause and cancel also. Once done, click Submit. The response metric will be created. Similarly, resolution metric can also be created. Click on New Metric. Add the name, choose the criticality when the ticket is in the open state. That means whenever a ticket is open, the resolution SLA will be mapped to that SLA and the calculation will begin. As for closing, as soon as the ticket enters the resolved state, the ticket will close. Add the status as hold. When a ticket is kept in this state, the Service Level Agreement, SLA, will pause, meaning it won't start calculating the time until resolution. To resume the count, select the resume conditions. Here the status should be moved back into in progress. As soon as it's back in the in progress state, the SLA timer will resume. It's crucial to note that it's only during the in progress status that the SLA is active. Hence, in the resolution metric, the start condition is when the ticket is open, and the close condition is when it's resolved status. The pause state is when the ticket is on hold. To resume, ensure that the ticket returns to an in-progress status. Once submitting these conditions, the metric is added. Now, let's create an SLA with these two metrics. Navigate and click on the Profile module. The profile is where SLA can be configured by adding a new profile and selecting the ticket. Provide a name of the profile. Now select the service type and enter the status of the profile. Enter the required compliance target required for the SLA. Now add the start and end dates respectively. Add a brief description about the profile respectively. Once done, click Next to continue. In the service level, target add the business hours as per the organization needs. The business hours reflect the organization's working hours. Next, select the target profile and add a new profile. Add one for response and one for resolution. These metrics need to be mapped in this target profile. Let's first add a target profile for the response metric. For example, during business hours, if a critical ticket is raised and 30 minutes is chosen for the critical response time here, then the technician must respond within 30 minutes. Failure to respond within 30 minutes will result in an SLA breach. The time configured here is what referred to as a target profile. Similarly, add the business hour time for the high, medium, and low, respectively. This is how to set up the target profile for response. Now, add the same target profile for the resolution metric. To add a new profile, simply click on the Add Another Profile. Once both the target profile for the response and the resolution metric has been added, click on Next to continue. In the Applied For page, add the impact service whenever a ticket is created with the followed impact services. It will trigger the mapped SLA. Once the impact service has been successfully added for the SLA profile, click on Submit. The required SLA will be created. Now, let's see how this SLA will be mapped to the tickets. Navigate to the Ticket module to view the SLA mapping process. SLA data can be viewed by clicking on the SLA icon or simply click on Edit. Here it is visible that the SLA is now mapped and active. When the status of the ticket is open and new, the SLA starts. When changed into In Progress, the response SLA will start. Now, marking it as Responded and saving the changes. When the status changed from Open to In Progress, it can be observed that the response metric has been achieved and stops calculating. Below, the start time, end time can be seen, and what the total business time was. Although the resolution metric is still being calculated, changing the status of the ticket to Resolved will also stop the resolution SLA from calculating. When the ticket gets resolved, the status changed to Resolved. The resolution SLA also stops, indicating that it's been achieved. This is based on the metrics that have been configured. The SLA calculations stop and define the start time, end time, and business time, which are clearly visible below. In this way, multiple SLAs can be set up and aligned with tickets according to the agreement with the end customers. This is how SLAs function in the Infraon Infinity Suite.